All right, we are back into it. So, Carrion sufficiently torments some of her teammates while being invisible.
One teammate, that's Maxwell.
Maxwell, you're haunted. For like,
Are you doing it in our room too? Because then you're haunting me as well.
like that's probably everybody went back to their rooms after it.
I'm just following Maxwell around for the 15 minutes, and then once I'm no longer invisible, I just pop up, like, hi!
So like 15 minutes, there's like a ghost around you or something, where you don't know.
What the?
And then it's Carrion, and you're like, what the hell?
Why would you go and do such a thing?
It's either that and get in trouble with the law again.
Well, why haunt me?
Out of everyone you've seen the funniest, Catherine would probably see right through me.
I would.
I'm sorry.
Catherine's like in the doorway watching, like eating something from him.
What's this parlor trick?
Claude, Goodberry hasn't been responding to me. She's just been, like, swinging that hook around still. I'd be scared Radiant would, like, kill me. Nim's boring. So all that was left was you.
Plus, you probably don't want to see what Nim does in the privacy of his own room.
Yes, nothing I haven't seen before.
But do you want to see it?
Do I want to see it? No. Do I care? Also, no.
Well, your ghost trick was entertaining, to say the least.
Is that sarcasm? I'm really bad at sarcasm.
I was being genuine.
Oh, yay.
I'd like for us to be friends and hopefully dispel any animosity.
I'm gonna go lay down and try to get these voices out of my head for a while.
I'll accompany you in a moment, Claude.
I mean, you guys are like in your room.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sitting
Carrion's
on my
chilling
bed.
with us now?
She's just been like kind of chilling with you for like a couple of minutes at least.
What is the room set up again?
I think-
Picking things off shelves.
Max and I have a room.
I think you were with
Nim.
Radiant and the two girls had a room together.
Where's Kaz?
Kaz is with Nim.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
You could hang with us tonight, Carrion. Trust me, you have nothing to be afraid of.
Interesting. You can go invisible now. Like Nim's like also in the background. Like interesting. You can go invisible now. Fascinating.
Like Queen Lady, I like bathed in some weird metal shit, and now I can go invisible.
Can I please get some rest?
Oh,
No.
You need some rest, Claude?
He was a weird. It was. Oh. He was like this. I
Is
don't know.
Claude lying down?
Yes.
I tuck you in with the blanket and give you a little pat on the forehead.
I
As I
go
whip
back
out
to
my
being
lute.
motion.
and serenade you to
He just
sleep.
like lies there like almost looking like he's dead.
I'm dead. Yeah. I just like put my arms in my chest.
Yeah, I'm playing you a nice little song before bed. That's kind of like a cool thing we do just to
Go
help each
to
other chill.
sleep.
Yeah, cool thing.
Please stay.
Yeah.
Safe.
I mean, you know, we're buddies. If you spend like several hundred years with someone, you don't want to like make them feel comfy and just play
Don't
them a nice
wake
song
up
before bed?
and try to eat my tongue. It's the closest thing I have to flesh left in my body right now.
I'd be more worried about me gnawing on his bones
Also a thing.
than gnawing on his silver tongue.
You could try to swallow it. Hey,
I'm not putting my mouth in his mouth.
Oh no.
Alright, anyway, you all go to sleep on that note. And wake
Except for Max.
Except for Max, who stays awake.
Why I meditate because
Yeah.
I want to get my stuff back.
Yeah, you.
Well, I'm completely aware of everything going on around me. Sound-wise, I just don't move.
Yep. But eventually you all wake up in the morning. You'll enjoy a nice breakfast in the outrageous hat. Sorry, dropping. And then head to the Tolaria Academy to meet once again with Arun.
I'm going back to my human form.
Okay. But you did wake up as a dwarf.
Yes.
You once again you'll basically go to the doors this time, and after a little while, someone will come to the door dressed in robes and be like, "Can I help you?" "Ah, yes, we're here to see Instructor Irun Vance. We have a meeting scheduled with him." Let me find out about that. I'll let you guys know.
Love this man.
Is he high?
No, he's just a student, man. He's like
He's a TA.
He's in his third year of like colleging at the academy here, and he's been put in charge of door duty.
He's a wizard, Harry.
He's a TA. He's a tired TA.
That's probably what he is, a tired TA. He's got...
Look, man, it's midterm season. It's got like 3 tests just tomorrow.
He's got to like summon a fire elemental in one of his classes or something, and like
has to do a dissertation on interplanar mechanics.
It's like, man, look, and this is the assignment I'm given, just to watch the door for, like, a shift.
I could be studying.
If I didn't go to, like, the work study course in order to get, like, some extra credits. Anyway. Okay, yeah. Sounds like he's gonna come down and meet with you. You guys can just, hang here in the foyer. I'm just gonna wait here. I got some studying to do while waiting, so just if you need anything, just grab a holler, but stay here.
Okay, we were going to.
Great.
Would anyone stop me if I tried to wander off?
I'd stop you.
Aw.
We're in a college, place of learning.
Also,
We
there's
only
like
steal from it at night.
there's like
I'm not stealing
deadly.
from it. I love colleges.
There's like deadly magical enchantments that if you don't have the proper authorities, they cause you to have your insides melt or something. At least that's what they tell us.
What kind?
Yeah, it's an illusion.
I mean, there's some of those too.
Illusions are...
Death illusions.
Anyway, after a while, Irun will show up and be like, so, that's right. I was expecting you. Sorry. They said you were here, and I was, distracted with some work. Apologies. I've been up late, but, everything is ready for us to go. Just, come along with me. We'll head down to the docks. Down in the, subterranean. Past the dungeon.
The dungeon?
It's an old tradition. Every campus has a dungeon to it. Back in the old days, prior to the rebirth of the academy, prior to the invasion, agents of the Phyrexians invaded the original campus in order to sabotage it. As if you're unaware, some of our more illustrious graduates were involved with the war effort back in those days.
Okay. A full-on, like, dungeon?
Yes, it's rarely used.
I would hope so. I think an often used dungeon in a college is not a good thing to have.
Hazing rituals.
There probably is. Are there frats at this college?
Maybe.
It wouldn't be Greek life, because there's no Greece. I don't know what the equivalent of Greece is.
They would, because there is... Sorry. There are... The Tolarian Academy does have different lineages, they're called.
So yeah, they're frat houses.
Yes. They have the 3 main ones and then a number of smaller ones. So, yep. There's the Urzin, the Baronites, and the Rayans. The 3 pedagogical lineages in the Academy.
Which one is on triple secret probation?
For
the prank, all the pranks.
Probably the Urzins.
And so that's the one with Jim Belushi, right? Or was
Yes.
it John Belushi? It was one of the Belushi.
It would have been John Belushi.
It was John Belushi.
Yeah. John's the one who passed. Jim's his brother who
Right, yeah.
got famous later.
Yeah. Because they're the systematic and cynical, focusing on artifice, temporal mechanics, and genetics.
I love them already.
Uh-huh. Like, the Baronites have ethics, and the Rayanites are focusing on improvement of things like artifacts and recruitment. So those two are more less experimental groups.
Who's the nerds?
All of them.
They're all nerds.
They're all nerds. The point is to be the best nerd. So it's like the opposite. So it's like you want to be the greatest nerd, at least the least jockish. So it's like... I mean, I kind of want to say the Baronites are probably the more jockish kind. Because if you ever looked at Baron, the guy that, like, does it, he kind of looked like a beast. The guy that was the founder of that group, or by, like, his ways of doing things. I'm pretty sure he could, like, bench press someone. Anyway, he'll lead you deep into the academy, into the towers again. Into his office for a brief while. He'll get a number of things together. He'll basically just have you sit around, not really saying much, as he's actually going to change his outfits into something a little bit more, less scholarly, more, like, adventure-y, I would say. He's like, alright. Sorry, again, not a lot of sleep last night. Finishing up some stuff before we go. But I should be good to go. Let's head down to the submersible.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see this submersible.
Now come. Let's head down. So he'll lead you down to the area. Down in through this winding passage, which will lead down into a floor with a number of doors kind of on the side that look... Oh, this looks a little dungeony. That's kind of the best way to describe it. It looks a little bit dungeony, but you don't see anything directly like that. He screams dungeon, and it seems quiet.
I'm going to walk very quickly through this place.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, though, you'll be led to another set of staircase that will lead down. And it will find, like, a kind of more natural cavern passage with a little passageway that leads to doors to various sides that'll kind of wind through an area. And eventually, though, it will lead to what you can hear, what sounds like moving, like a little bit of a crashing wave, almost. Ah! Sounds like the tide has come in. Perfect for us. Now come. So he'll lead you into an area that has, I'd say it's like a stone kind of dock with this kind of large, metal vessel that looks kind of like a fish almost.
Kazran takes out his notebook and starts, like, sketching it. like ships.
Um,
I'm going to say quietly to myself, I hope none of you are claustrophobic.
Oh boy.
Behold, the Segovian.
Looks very nautical.
Ah, yes, it's named after a creature that is said to was a very unusual thing. An old story of mine that I heard, a book that tells a tale of a leviathan that once existed long ago, but it was the smallest known leviathan. Hence why I named it after that. It's a ship that's not quite big. This thing is like decent sized, but I'll say like if you think about it, like it's like bus sized. It would be describable to you, to you guys. They said it was the size of a large elephant. Legends tell a tale of it. Very interesting creature. Anyway. Regardless, though, here we are, and we'll be taking it down. He'll lead you to kind of like a boarding docks. A couple of people will be there, seemingly setting up everything. They'll have like a hatch on the side with like one of those like a spinning wheel, like kind of like a pressure kind of door, kind of seal it off. And they'll open it up, kind of pull it open. He'll like lead you inside. It looks like this area has a kind of top chamber, where it looks like there's a number of seats set up. It kind of has like a front cockpit where he goes, like an engine room in the back bottom, and like a storage compartment. He'll kind of point out, down there, that ladder will lead you to the storage compartment. We have loaded up on a number of supplies. The benches here are for you all to relax while we travel down. They can also fold out to small beds.
That is useful. Good to know.
And it's spelled, just to give you the spelling, it's spelled like this. Segovian. Oh, yeah, Segovian. Nim will kind of remark, Segovian. Interesting. I've heard that title myself. Strange.
And you're sure you don't have any, like, designs of it that I might take a look at, right?
Unfortunately, no. All up here. Keep out of the engine room for now, too. I don't want you... Even if I trust that you won't do too much, I don't want you playing around with anything while we're in process.
Would I be able to at least look at it with your supervision?
Perhaps at some point, but for now, let's just settle in and
All right.
get ready to go.
Too bad you can't read minds like Max.
Not yet.
Interesting irony, he named it the Segovian.
Why is that?
Oh, well, I understand the story he references. It's a part of a two-part story. The second part tells of the Leviathan which came to our seas. Leviathan that was small to us, but large to many. And it references the original story that tells of a place where people that were smaller than a flea once existed, and amongst them was a great Leviathan, greater than all of their sizes combined. Of course, that Leviathan is the one it references. It calls that place Segovia. They're ancient books. I believe I once saw them in the... Oh... It might have been in the old Tolaria library. I don't know if it survived the destruction of the old academy. Unfortunately to say.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
Well, we are going to the ruins of the old academy, well, what's built on top of them, but I don't think the library is quite the same.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find it at the library anyway.
It would be interesting
Worth
to
a
see
look.
these old books. The books of old Dominarian legends, from the time before the brothers.
Oh, the brothers.
Carrie, stop drooling.
You're muted still.
Was I drooling? Or
At least I think it was drool.
Ugh.
Old books, you know? It's exciting, to say the least.
Settle in. This will take a while. Since you were trying to get to Slinvoda, I've managed to find a way to track it. It's not easy to track it and usually requires some magic. A friend of mine was able to put a spell on this here, as he's going to pull out like what looks to be a normal compass, but you'll notice that it's not pointing what you would think is north. It seems to be pointing in like a different direction. Because doesn't one of you always know where north is?
I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
you can tell it's not
Yeah,
pointing north.
you can just do that.
I can. I'm very smart.
Yeah.
Do we have to worry about breathing down here?
Not necessarily. This is something that I installed early on for longer voyages. It does require replacement after a while, but he's actually gonna like show you into like the cockpit a little bit. Point out that there is a converter. It uses magic to make the air breathable in here.
Interesting.
Yes.
By the way, I have not been breathing other than when I talk.
Weird. All right.
I was being careful. I didn't want to use up everyone else's oxygen, too.
Anyway, let us prepare ourselves to leave. Just settle in. It'll take a little while for us to set everything up. He'll go into the cockpit. The two people that were outside, seemingly working, will come in. He'll kind of go over a checklist of one of them. One of them will actually settle into a secondary seat in the front. The other one will go outside. It seems like he'll close up the door between it. Well, the one that was sitting next to him, after they kind of go through, looks like turning some dials, pressing a couple buttons, moving some levers, kind of things like that. He'll head down, do something in the engine room for a little while, come back up. He'll kind of yell at the guy that's still on the docks. Release the clamps. Archie.
Kraken.
Good luck! As the plank will be pulled away, he'll close the door and kind of seal it up. The guy will go, I'm coming with you for this trip. My name is Jonah.
Oh no.
And
Oh
well-
god. Okay, we're going on a nautical adventure with someone named Jonah.
Jonah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I got that right away, too.
Yep.
Is this foreshadowing?
Who knows?
Hey, at least his name's not Ishmael.
I'm one of, yes, no. I'm one of Irum's assistants. If you need anything, I can probably help you for it. I know where all the supplies are. If anything happens that we need to escape, there is an emergency escape. I don't know if he mentioned it. Down in the storeroom. It's normally closed up. But you can open it up it's on the bottom of the vessel. So you should be able to open it up and water won't come in. like a upside down bucket works.
Interesting.
If you've ever pulled down an upside down bucket, the air doesn't just pop out. You know, it's like that. The bottom is open. So as long as we don't tip or move, no water should come in while we have it open. But we have to be careful if we ever use it. It's more for emergencies.
Okay. Excellent. Like a diving bell.
Like a diving bell, yes.
I'm
right.
excited. This should be good.
Well, if you need anything, just let me know. There's a small... I can use some of my magic to heat some things up for us. One of the reasons Byron likes to take me on these longer expeditions when we occasionally do it. I'm good with temperature control of magic.
Oh. That sounds interesting.
Anyway, just see those straps there? Strap yourself in. It can be a little rough getting in through the waves.
I will attempt to do so.
It's basically like just like a shoulder strap that like hooks into something, like a very simple hook, you know, like a kind of attachment thing. It's like you know, kind of like
a seatbelt.
It's kind of like a very primitive seatbelt. Yes.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. You'll all hook in as the final like moors the ship kind of unclamp, and all of a sudden you feel it like dip up and down in these waves that have been coming in. You'll notice that's kind of like what is like it's you don't see the entrance. The entrance is below the water, but the waves are kind of coming in with the water that's kind of coming in through this like sea cave right below the surface. That probably at low tide you might be able to see out it. You're not sure. But at this definitely high tide, water is like kind of sloshing in here through the cave, you know, kind of pushing up into the stone. And now that it's free, the ship kind of like rocks a little bit as then it begins to go forward. And you also then begin to see it sink quite rapidly. As like there's these like portholes like on the side, you know, like 'cause it's got like the portholes all down the side so you can kind of see outside of it with like these big like kind of eyes on the front almost. That are kind of what looks out the front of the Leviathan's like head. It also has these like kind of like almost whiskers out the front where these lights are on top of. They don't seem to move, but they provide lights in the front. As if you kind of like look out the window, so you can see like that the side fins of this like fish-like Leviathan are kind of moving to kind of like spin it. As you hear like a hum of some kind of engine in the back. Probably some kind of like propeller also. So there's like these two, like motion, as then it will dive down under the water, and it'll just have that look of like the water coming up above you and then going under it, as you can still feel the waves rocking into you, and you move out into the sea, under the ocean.
Under the sea.
Exactly.
Under the sea.
Fun.
I mean, now you've referenced the title of today's episode, so...
Downwards, better.
Yay.
Downwards, wetter.
What? I did literally call it Under the Sea.
Under the sea.
Thank you. Fascinating. Last time I attempted to go down there, it was by myself, and at that point in time, you just can use some magic to travel down there. Some ability to swim, ability to breathe underwater for a period of time. Of course, then it was more costing it. But still.
Well, at least we don't have to deal with being wet.
Also, because of my studies in the druidic arts, I happened to be able to turn into animals for a period of time. I was a fish for a while.
Was it fun?
No. Surprisingly, being a fish is very unpleasant. It's for one I don't really transform into animals very much. Some of my, the human druids seem to enjoy the fact of it. But I myself, as someone who has studied mostly the druidic arts, but a little bit of other magics, don't tend to enjoy it. Anyway, shall we continue?
Let's.
So, I don't know how long this will take. Any good conversation points?
Neon, how will you die?
How will I die?
This was a conversation we had on the boat.
I must have missed that.
Yes, you were unconscious.
Oh, yes, Claude, you too.
Like,
How do you want to die?
how do I want to die?
I've been dead before.
Both either or. How do you want to die and how do you think you'll die?
I prefer to die of old age. As I said, though my life is particularly long for my kind, I still will pass away at some point in time. I would say my life is about, maybe 5 or 10 times that longer than my own race's normally would be. That means I have many, many years ahead of me, but it means I will age and eventually die.
Preferably less painful than all my others.
Yes. As for possible deaths, well, I travel a lot, go to many places, and that can inform dangers. Anytime you explore somewhere, you can possibly encounter something that will meet your end. You never know.
You see that? How do you think you die? That's a new part of it. I said earlier that I don't want to die, and I intend on building myself a better body eventually.
Interesting.
How I think I'll probably die? I'm not sure. It will probably involve fire.
You know, I once met a living artifice, a golem with sentience. Quite an interesting thing to find a... Of course, I think it was created by magic. Someone was attempting to imbue it with a portion of soul, maybe. Possibly artificial, I don't know. I don't know the exact origin of it, but the being itself, quite interesting. Still a little childlike. It might
You
still be
wouldn't
around
know
now.
where to find this being now, would you?
Oh no, unfortunately no. Last I heard, I believe it was destroyed, but you never know, it could have survived somehow.
Unfortunate.
Kaz, take it from me. Life everlasting isn't as good as it seems.
Well, like I said, I'd probably install an off switch, essentially. But as it stands, well, I don't know how I'm gonna feel a year from now. As it stands, I think that I want to live forever. That might change.
I'll ask you after the first 100 years.
Okay, that sounds like a
As
deal.
someone that is very long-lived, and I have to say, learning to deal with death and finding new connections is a way to do it. Unfortunately, most of my connections are fleeting.
You can also have a friend who doesn't die as well.
I do have a few that are very old friends, and they've found ways to adapt to their situation of living nearly forever.
Now, I hate to beat a dead horse, but are these friends or are they friends?
I mean, I dated the one for a while, a couple 100 years ago, but she and I are now just friends. Besides, I think she has other relationships to deal with. As for the others, interesting folks. I don't know what the one of them is up to. The other, I believe, where is he at? If we went to the main... If we went there, might be able to meet with him. I doubt he'd want to see me again, though. He's,
Oh, okay.
No ill will. He's just an aloof fellow.
No, don't forget about your dragon friend.
Dragons do live a long time, too, but they are not immortal. Again, I only know of 2, maybe 3 actual immortals. One I'm unsure about. You see, one of them, ancient mage from a time immemorial. One of them was accidentally made into immortal. Another one is a master time mage, who's said to control aspects of time itself. I don't know if he's immortal or not. But again, I haven't seen him in a few 100 years, so who knows. And none of them, I believe, are immune to effects that would cause death. I think the only thing that might actually be immortal to both things is that goblin I mentioned before, Squeak.
Do want to meet this goblin?
Who knows if he's actually immortal? He comes back from the dead, seemingly, at least according to the rumors. As for life, how long he'd live, he's supposed to be still alive. He is somewhere on your homeland of Shiv.
Oh, maybe not then. I don't know if going back to Shiv's a great idea. It is Shiv.
I thought you loved Shiv.
Yeah, you're
do.
from there.
I am, and I do love Shiv. It's horribly dangerous. Well, I said that I want to live forever, but I'll probably die in the fire. It would probably be on Shiv.
Oh dear.
It's on fire. Always.
All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, Bogarden and Shiv have, like, pretty equal amounts of death danger, but, like, you guys were in this very safe corridor. Shiv doesn't have as many of those safe corridors because a lot of their civilized areas tend to have artifice and masters of artifice and maybe explosions.
A lot of explosions.
Mm-hmm.
I did those.
Yeah, good times. Good times. Anyway, oh god. Yeah, and that's why the captains of most ships that go out of Shiv are Viashino, because only the Viashino know how to leave Shiv. Because there's a ring of underwater volcanoes that nearly boils the water around Shiv.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh.
They like Kaz. They don't like a lot of other goblins. They like Kaz.
So yeah. Shiv's pretty good. You know. There's an actual Shivan nation currently. Led by a united council of goblins, Gitu, humans, dragons, and Viashino. Oh, God. Hey, you know about one of those immortal Kaz. I'm sorry.
Oh.
I didn't even realize.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Radical.
Yeah. You know of the most legendary Shivan, a member of the Gitu tribe, who's said to be immortal, Joyra.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. She is basically the honorary 9th member of your ruling council of Shiv. So yes, Shivans know about Joyra.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. So he probably dated her at some point in time. You don't know what she does. You know that she's immortal. You know. Good times. There could be another female immortal you don't know about, but she's the only one that you do know about.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm gonna remember that.
Uh-huh.
It's like a telltale game. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I will remember that.
I totally didn't notice until I was checking up on Shiv now, where it says Joya herself was elected an honorary 9th member. I'm like, oh god, then the general Shivan public that would know about my ruling council would know about her. God damn it.
Oh boy.
Uh-huh. No one knows how long she'll live, but, she's, an honorary member of it because she's everybody's favorite Shivan hero. She was, like, a hero during the Phyrexian War. Yup. Anyway, that sounds like a good place to leave it off now that I freaking realized that one there.
Exposition.
That Kazran knows something and will remember it.
I'm gonna make a note to make sure that Kaz will remember, because Fish will not.
I totally forgot that she was Gitu. It's one of those things. It's like, oh yeah, she's technically of the Gitu nomads. Got about that one. Anyway, that's probably a good place to leave it off as you're going deeper and have a nice conversation. So, for those of you out there, thank you for joining us for another exciting week. It's been a good one. Wintress is probably finishing up playing with her rope, so next time she can actually be...
Is she playing with it in the sub?
Not anymore! That's why she'll
say.
respond next time. She's had a lot of time playing with it. As you head down deep and you try to track Slin Voda, the Leviathan with a city on its back, which tells you how big a Leviathan it is.
Indeed.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to figure out how big it would actually be with this massive city, and it's probably got to be at least, like, 1 kilometer long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe 2. Enjoy meeting that friend. 1,000 meters long.
We're gonna be best
Big friend.
buddies.
Yeah.
Big friend.
Big friend.
Is it a big turtle, possibly with 4 elephants on its back?
No. That'd be
It's
kinda
not
awesome.
traveling through space either.
Worth a shot.
It looks kind of like a mosasaur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it that way. Like a mosasaur or like a toothed whale. Yeah. So, like, I would describe it as basically a cross between like kind of like a gatory head and like fish body. So kind of mosasaur. Anyway, thanks everybody for joining us today. I hope you have a great day. Why don't we have people give shout-outs? We'll go with the reverse order as we normally do. We'll start with Mads.
Hi, I'm here.
Okay, and we'll go to Fish.
Hi, I'm Fish. Maybe one day I'll actually be a fish and this whole thing will be redundant.
Yep. And then Max.
Hey guys, I'm Just Lee Belmont, your noble vampire hunter. I speedrun way more games than I'm willing to admit. I'm on a quest to learn 100 different ones, and I'm at 80 out of 100.
Ooh.
So hopefully I'll hit that goal sometime before the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Impressive.
And of course, Joe.
Hi, you'll find me here on Tensis's channel. We'll have a tabletop on Saturday.
Yep. As for myself, Dominaria Dracovin, I'll probably stream something tomorrow. Not sure yet. Maybe Stellaris. Definitely discussing tabletop on Saturday. Don't know about anything up until our RPGs. If you're looking for them, we have Records of Evil and Legacies of Cain, which should be on schedule for next Tuesday at 10 a.m. for Records and 2 p.m. for Legacies. That's a D&D Lawful Evil modern Faerun game and a Vampire the Masquerade game, which is getting towards its end, actually. And then we've got this show, which should be back next week. That's kind of the basic schedule for now. And I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, healthy, and these strange times. Stay at home best you can, as much as you can. And hopefully you shall be here with us next week as we continue these adventures and actually get to a giant Leviathan with the city on its back. So that'll be cool. So, until then, though, good evening and so long.
Bye.